Minimalism, it means less, right? To eliminate and learn to live without certain things, to become content with just the basics. Well, in some ways, these things may be true, but you might also find it interesting to know that not everything gets minimized during the journey of living more simply. In fact, the 5 things that I'm going to talk about today have actually been maximized throughout my journey of minimalism. Hi, and welcome back to the cottage. I think that minimalism is a wonderful way of life. It's a life that my family and I have been living successfully for over 6 years now. And it has been my experience while seeking a more simple life that a shift takes place, one that actually causes a person to crave more in 5 distinct categories. These are the things that when you begin to prioritize and focus on your life, become even more important. The first is generosity. As you embark on a journey of minimalism, it becomes pretty apparent early on how truly privileged we are. We have been blessed with so much, and yet many times we overlook these blessings. Many of us have way more items in our homes than we can comfortably manage on a day-to-day basis, and that can't be said for everyone in the country or around the world. I'm sure you're familiar with the phrase, it's better to give than to receive, but like many things in life, you may not truly understand or even believe those words until you've experienced them for yourself. So when you've done a bit of decluttering and you're faced with piles of excess, things that you no longer need, you don't want around, and you recognize that these things, these very cast-offs, can be a blessing to someone else, that really starts to hit home. And the amazing thing about generosity is not only is this something that will benefit the person receiving the gift, it is also a huge benefit to the giver themselves. It's a great feeling. And as you continue on, you begin to realize that decluttering is about so much more than just having a tidy house. It's recognizing that your needs have been met, and yet there is still extra above and beyond that you can use as a blessing for other people. And that is why I personally prefer to donate items to either a thrift store or a donation center instead of trying to sell them online or to have a garage sale, because I want that blessing to go directly to the person who needs it instead of having any sort of barrier in between, such as money. And speaking of money, that is another great way to be generous. I know that for my husband and I, our walk towards debt freedom went stride for stride with our desire for a more simple life. And so during those 2 or so years that we worked towards debt freedom, we were hyper-focused on that goal. And once we had achieved it, we realized that we had freed up hundreds of dollars each month that were now extra. And it felt amazing to be able to realize that our needs financially were still met, but we had this extra money that we could use then to bless other people. And now we set goals for our giving, trying to maximize it as much as we possibly can. I truly believe that when you are generous with other people, your life feels more full, more satisfied. Another thing that minimalists crave and experience more of is commitment and consistency. I know that you've heard me say it so many times, but when you decide to live more minimally, you're signing up for a lifelong journey, one that you need to be very committed to and put consistent effort toward in order to make positive progress. The decluttering efforts at the beginning, they are draining beyond belief. Decision fatigue will set in and you will question what the point is at times, but you need to keep going, putting one foot in front of the other and making mindful choices the entire way. And goodness, I remember this part of the process so well. With each decision that was made, I gained more confidence in what I was doing. And in turn, that confidence gave me the motivation to continue showing up day after day, even when it seemed that there was still so much to do. I was gaining more of a commitment as the process went on. And this habit of consistency really does begin to permeate other aspects of life as well, because with less clutter to have to manage, you are then given more time for other things, for relationships, for your well-being. Minimalism empowers you to keep showing up for the people and life aspects that you care the most about, your friends, your family, your health, education, maybe even your spiritual deepening. There are plenty of things that throughout the process of minimalism, you're going to learn to say no to, and that's okay to say no to, but you're not going to have to do that with the things that you deem to be the most important. I suppose in general, I can sum up this point by saying that minimalism teaches good habits of commitment and consistency, which will be of great lifelong service to you. Work ethic, I believe, is also maximized with minimalism. It's one thing to feel burnt out from time to time and wanting a break from work. It's entirely another to expect that all the work will be done for you. As human beings, we are all given our own good works to do, our own purpose in life. And I do believe that minimalism has a way of really refining our focus and making that purpose more clear. I know that my own personal minimalism journey really helped me to fine-tune my focus of what my life's work was. And for this particular moment in time, it is to love on and to serve my family well. And I just feel so grateful to be able to do this every single day. Where housework may used to seem like a major chore to me or something added on top of an already stressful life, the path is now clear for me to be able to put my entire heart and soul into it. And now it gives me great joy to be able to do these mundane things such as washing dishes, making beds, or folding the laundry. Not because I love the chore itself, but because I love the people I'm doing it for. Now that's my own personal experience. I don't expect that minimalism will cause each of you watching today to suddenly enjoy housework, and being a homemaker may not be your purpose. The point that I'm trying to get across is that by removing the excess from your life, it will become more clear what your purpose is, and you will have a renewed drive to really make an effort toward it. Simply put, I think that there is just a newfound belief in the sentiment that anything worth doing is worth doing well when you live a more minimalist lifestyle. Another important aspect of life that gets amplified when living as a minimalist is appreciation. Of course, this makes a lot of sense. One of the primary motivators for most people who want to live more simply is to get rid of the excess, not because they want to deprive themselves or to do without, but instead to really elevate those things that bring more value to their lives. And that's exactly what minimalism does. I know for myself that when I look back on the days before I made this lifestyle shift, I would have told you that I had plenty of things that I cared about, that I really cherished and were very important to me, but where did I keep them? They were boxed up and closed off, protected from sight and memory, except on the rare occasion when they saw the light of day. Going through those boxes and evaluating the contents carefully and intentionally further solidified the importance of these items. And now I'm able to truly appreciate them. They've become items that we either use on a regular basis in our home, or they're displayed in a spot of prominence. I was watching fellow YouTube minimalist A to Zen Life, and she made the statement that really being alive is a special occasion, and so we shouldn't have to wait to use these special items or to see them. We can really celebrate every single day. And really, this appreciation extends beyond just sentimental items. I truly believe that when you live a minimalist lifestyle, you just take better care of your things. You are more apt to maintain them well and protect them so that they last a longer amount of time. With minimalism, there's just an overall rejection of the superficial consumeristic behavior, and that drive to constantly want newer, better things gets replaced with more contentment and gratitude for the things that you already have. And of course, we know that minimalism is not just about things, and so we also gain a greater appreciation for the people that we have in our lives and the relationships. And that brings me to the final point of this video, and that is living a minimalist lifestyle really does put more emphasis on understanding who you are as a person and just being. I think we can all agree that life moves very quickly, and I feel like the older that I get, the faster that life moves on. It's easy to get caught up in the day-to-day and really to lose sight of everything that's going on and ultimately lose sight of who you are, because you get so caught up in what everyone else is doing. And I feel like, as I said before, minimalism helped me find that focus in my life, but it's also allowed me to understand who I am as a person, why I'm valuable, what makes me unique. And through that, I've been able to really center myself in a lot of ways. This didn't just all come at once. I started to notice these things slowly trickle in. I realized that I was starting to take more time to just sit and be still in my surroundings and to take deep breaths and to feel peace in my soul. I recognized that my husband and I were having much deeper conversations, and that when I was at my kids' activities, I didn't feel rushed or bothered by it, wondering, what I was going to do next. I was there, present in the moment. Even something as silly as my perspective on my physical appearance has changed dramatically since becoming a minimalist. For example, I have gray hairs, and I used to be bothered by this. I would pull them out. And the more that I got into this minimalist lifestyle, the more I recognized that the reason I was bothered by these gray hairs was because I was comparing to other people who did not have them. And now I feel perfectly peaceful at the fact that, hey, I have gray hairs. I'm 43 years old, and I think it's completely normal to have gray hairs. It's nothing I should be ashamed of. But because I was comparing and noticing other people that didn't have the gray hairs, I was bothered by them. And so now I don't worry about that at all. It's just how it is. Of course, I try to keep myself healthy, try to exercise and eat right. I'm not going to just let myself go. But my physical appearance really doesn't define me the way that it used to. This being able to just be authentically who I am, present in my life, it's just such a gift. It's such a blessing. So that is my list. I know that there are probably plenty of other things that could be on it, but these are the 5 that I have seen most clearly change throughout my own personal journey. If you're on a minimalist journey of your own, I would love to hear the ways in which it has changed your perspective on things, whether for good or bad. We can chat about them down in the comments. Thank you so much for watching today's video, and I hope that you'll stop by the cottage again really soon.